वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा सरस्वति नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा गुरवे सर्वलोकानां भिषजे भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम् सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् साक्षात्कृतं दयानन्दं परमार्थस्वरूपिणं तत्त्वज्ञानप्रशास्तारं प्रणतोऽस्मि परं पदम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। नमोऽस्तु ते व्यासविशालबुद्धे लारविन्दाय तपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयः प्रदीपः प्रपन्नपारिजाताय स्तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। सर्वोपनिषदो गावः दोग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्सः सुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत्। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनम् देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। भीष्मद्रोणतटा जयद्रथजला गान्धारनीलोत्पला शल्यग्राहवती कृपेण वहनी कर्णेन वेलाकुला अश्वत्थामविकर्णघोरमकरा दुर्योधनावर्तिनी सोत्तीर्णा खलु पाण्डवैरननदी कैवर्तकक्षेशवः पाराशर्यवचः सरोजममलं गीतार्थगन्धोत्कटम् नानाख्यानककेसरं हरिकथा सम्बोधना बोधितम्। लोके सज्जनषट्पदैरहरः पेपीयमानं मुदा भूयाद्भारतपङ्कजं कलिमलप्रध्वंसिनः श्रेयसे। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिम् यत्कृपात्तमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्। यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुवन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः। ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः। देवाय तस्मै नमः। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमम् देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। ॐ श्री परमात्मने नमः।
ॐ श्री
परमात्मने नमः।
अथ पंचमोऽध्यायः।
अथ पंचमोऽध्यायः।
We will read from Nanucha. Nanucha
ननुच
कर्मयोगः अपि
कर्मयोगः अपि
आत्मस्वरूप निरूपण प्रदेशेषु
आत्मस्वरूपनिरूपण प्रदेशेषु
तत्र तत्र प्रतिपाद्यते एव
तत्र प्रतिपाद्यते एव
तद्यथा
तद्यथा
तस्माद्युध्यस्व भारत
तस्माद्युध्यस्व भारत
स्वधर्ममपि चावेक्ष्य
स्वधर्ममपि चावेक्ष्य
कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते
कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते
इत्यादौ
इत्यादौ
अतश्च कथम् आत्मविदः
अतश्च कथम् आत्मविदः
कर्मयोगस्य
कर्मयोगस्य
असम्भवः स्यात् इति
असम्भवः स्याद् इति
अत्र उच्यते।
अत्र उच्यते
सम्यक् ज्ञानमित्याज्ञानतत्कार्यविरोधात्
सम्यक् ज्ञान मिथ्या ज्ञान तत्कार्यविरोधात्
ज्ञानयोगेन साङ्ख्यानाम् इति
ज्ञानयोगेन साङ्ख्यानाम् इति
अनेन साङ्ख्यानाम् आत्मतत्त्वविदाम् अनात्मवित् कर्तृक कर्मयोगनिष्ठातः
अनात्मवित् कर्मयोगनिष्ठातः
निष्क्रियात्मस्वरूप अवस्थानलक्षणायाः
निष्क्रियात्मस्वरूप अवस्थानलक्षणायाः
ज्ञानयोगनिष्ठायाः पृथक्करणात् कृतकृत्यत्वेन आत्मविदः प्रयोजनान्तर
अभावात्
तस्य कार्यं न विद्यते इति
तस्य कार्यं न विद्यते इति
कर्तव्यान्तर अभाववचनाच्च
कर्तव्यान्तर अभाववचनाच्च
न कर्मणामनारम्भात्
न कर्मणारम्भात्
संन्यासस्तु महाबाहो
संन्यासस्तु महाबाहो
दुःखमाप्तुमयोगतः
दुःखमाप्तुमयोगतः
इत्यादिना च आत्मज्ञानाङ्गत्वेन
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 कर्मयोगस्य विधानात्
कर्मयोगस्य
कर्मयोगस्य
विधानात्
योगारूढस्य
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 तस्यैव शमः कारणम् उच्यते।
तस्यैव
तस्यैव शमः
शमः कारणमुच्यते
कारणमुच्यते
इति अनेन च
इति
इति
अनेन
अनेन
च
च
उत्पन्न सम्यक् दर्शनस्य
उत्पन्नः
उत्पन्नः सम्यक्
सम्यग्
दर्शनस्य
दर्शनस्य
कर्मयोग अभाववचनात्
कर्मयोग अभाववचनात्
कर्मयोगावचनात्
शारीरं केवलं कर्म कुर्वन्
शारीरं
शारीरं
केवलं
केवलं
कर्म
कर्म
कुर्वन्
कुर्वन्
न आप्नोति किल्बिषम्
न
न
आप्नोति
आप्नोति किल्बिषम्
किल्बिषम्
इति च
इति
इति
च
च
शरीरस्थितिकारण अतिरिक्तस्य
शरीरस्थितिकारणस्य
शरीरस्थितिकारण अतिरिक्तस्य
कर्मणः निवारणात्
कर्मणः
कर्मणः
निवारणात्
निवारणात्
नैव किञ्चित् करोमीति
नैव
नैव
किञ्चित्
किञ्चित्
करोमि इति
करोमीति
युक्तो मन्येत तत्त्ववित्
युक्तो
युक्तो
मन्ये
मन्येत
तत्त्ववित्
तत्त्ववित्
इति अनेन च
इति
इति
अनेन च
अनेन च
शरीरस्थितिमात्रप्रयुक्तेषु अपि
शरीरस्थितिमात्रप्रयुक्तेषु
इतिमात्र
अपि
प्रयुक्तेष्वपि
दर्शनश्रवणादिकर्मसु
दर्शन
दर्शनादिकर्मसु
श्रवणादिकर्मसु
आत्मयातात्म्यविदः
आत्मयाथ्यात्मविदः
करोमि इति
करोमि
करोमि
इति
इति
प्रत्ययस्य
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 समाहितचेतस्थया
समाहितचेतसया
समाहितचेतसया
सदा
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 अकर्तव्यत्व उपदेशात्
अकर्तव्यत्व
उपदेश
उपदेशात्
आत्मतत्त्वविदः
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 सम्यक् दर्शनविरुद्धः
सम्यग्
सम्यक्
दर्शनः
दर्शनविरुद्धः
विरुद्धः
मिथ्याज्ञानहेतुकः
मिथ्याज्ञानहेतुकः
कर्मयोगः
कर्मयोगः
स्वप्ने अपि न संभवयितुं
स्व-
संभव
स्व-
संभवयितुं
स्वप्ने
स्वप्न
अपि न
अपि न
सम्भवियात्
संभ
सम्भव
संभवयितुं
सम्भवितुं
सम्भवितुं
शक्यते यस्मात्
शक्यते
शक्यते
यस्मात्
up to that we have seen that last week. Sambhavayitum is good. Sambhavayitum bodhatu. Bodhatu, not sambhavayitum. Sambhavayitum it should be. So, sambhava then yitu. The type. Not sambhavayitum. Bodhatu. Sampurvaka bodhatum tum prataya. Become some who will become bhavitum. Then ya why is there? Ya is there in a causative. Bhavi bhavayitum. Sambhavayitum not there. Bhavitum is there. Sambhavitum, that is different. Sambhavayitum should be causative form of Buddha. Okay. Up to Yasmat we have seen. Just quick meaning, just give the general meaning. Already we have seen. Purvapakshi says, Atma Swarupana Nirupana Pratesheshu, in places where the Atma is, Surupam of Atma is ascertained, there Karma Yoga also is talked about. Like where Tasmad Yudhya Subharata, that is also that in the place where Atma Tattvam is asserted, was presented there. Tasmad Yudyasya Bharata. So, Antavanta ime degaha nityasya yukta sharirinaha, that is a shloka. Tasmad Yudyasya Bharata. Saying that this sharira is subject to destruction. Then therefore he says, hey Arjuna, you fight. Such shariram is subject to destruction, but Atma is nityaha, avinashi. Atma is. Shariram is nashik. 18th shloka, second chapter. Normally it's swadharma apicha vekchya. Even considering it from the standpoint of your duty also, even if you have Atma Jnanam, you think. So in all these places, similarly, Kandanyavadikara stay there also. Karma is presented where Atma is, Atma Swarupam is Nirupyate. So therefore, what the Purapakshi wants to say is karma yoga also goes along with Atma Jnanam, because many places in the Gita where Atma Swarupanam is done, there Karma Yoga also talked about. The Purapakshi says. It means, he wants to say, for Vidvat Sannyasi, even though he is Atma Vidaha, Karma Yoga is also there for him. That is one thing which Purapakshi wants to, Purapakshi intends to present. And the other thing by that is Jnana Karma Samuchaya, that we never accept. Not that we don't, not that it is logical and therefore we don't accept. It is illogical, not possible. Therefore we don't accept. The very reason is karma cannot produce moksha. Because moksha is not of the nature that which can be produced by karma. Can never be. Therefore we don't accept. So for that, now having said that, then he says, Atascha Katam Atmavidaha Karma Yogasya Sambhavagasya. How is that you say Karma Yoga is not possible for Atmavita? Atmavita also Karma Yoga is possible. The Purapakshi raises an objection by asking this. Suppose if we accept Atmavidaha Karma Yoga, then Jnana Karma Samuchaya, that has to be accepted. We accept this, that also has to be accepted. If we dismiss this, then that also dismissed. But that this dismissal is Bhashekara does by presenting 8 reasons for that. Here it is said, Bhashekara says, Atra Uchyate, number 1. All these are in Panchami. Therefore, these are the 8 reasons. That's because of these reasons, we dismiss that Karma Yoga is not possible for Atmavita even in Swapna. First reason, Samyak Jnana Mitya Jnana Tatkari Virodha Cha. Samyak Jnana Mitya Jnana. These are contradictory. And the result also, effect also contradictory. This is number 1. And Jnana Yogena Sankhyanam iti, Bhagavan said in the 3rd chapter. Therefore, Atmavidam. So, in order to distinguish Jnana Yoga Nishta from Karma Yoga Nishta, that is why Jnana Yogena Sankhyanam, Karma Yogena Yoginam iti, 2 types of lifestyles were presented. Therefore, Anatmavita Karma Yoga Nishtataha, from the Karma Yoga Nishta, Jnana Yoga Nishta, which is characterized by abiding in the Swarupa of the Atma, which is Nishkriyaha, which is actionless. So that Pratak Karnam, the distinction is made. That is the second reason. And for the Kritakrityaha, for the one who has already achieved the purpose, who has achieved the end, who has gained that is to be gained, who has done all that is to be done, it means he is a fulfilled person. Kritakrityaha, Jnani. For him, what is the use of karma? Therefore, Prayojanantara Bhava, there is no Prayojanam, there is no use of karma yoga. Then why should he do it? That is the reason. Tasya karyam na vidyate, atmavidaha karyam na vidyate. Ki kartavyantara bhava. Bhava, kartavyantara abhava vachanat. Said in the previous chapter, Tasya karyam na vidyate. Jnani doesn't have any karyam. Tasya karyam na vidyate. There is no duty for Jnani. Therefore, kartavyantara, anya kartavyam, something to be done. It's not there. It's not said. There is no such a statement. So, because of the absence of to be done, absence of another to be done, is therefore kritakrityaha, atmavidaha, kritakrityatva, atmavidaha, karma yogaha, sambhavayitum na shakyaha. And the next reason, na karmana manarambhat, just by not performing karma. Sanyasastu mahabaho dukkham aptam ayogataha. Dukkham aptam, sannyasa is difficult. Not karma yoga. Dukkham. Therefore, by all this, what is presented is karma yoga is presented as an anga for the jnana yoga. So, jnanam yoga is the angi for which the anga is karma yoga. So, therefore, karma yoga is a means for jnana yoga, jnana yogyata prapti. Therefore, having attained the jnana yogyatvam and by jnana yoga, having moksha is attained, then what is the use of karma then? Therefore, there is no use. So, Atmajnanangatvena karma yoga. Karma yoga is the anga and the angi is Atmajnanam. For the one who has already gained Atmajnanam, angi, for which the anga is karma yoga. What is the use of anga or the karma yoga? Not there. Similarly, the sixth chapter, next chapter is going to be there. For the one who has achieved, who is yoga rudaha. Yoga rudaha means who has mounted on yoga. Mounted on yoga means who has gained jnanam. For him, atmavidaha ityartha. Tasya shamaha karanamuchyate sannyasa is the karanam. For the one who is ready for jnana yoga, exclusive commitment to the jnanam for him is yoga rudaha. Shamaha is the karanam uchyate. Therefore, iti anena vachanena utpanna samyak darshanasya karma yoga abhavachana. For the one in whom jnanam is utpannam, for him there is no prescription of karma yoga. So absence of karma yoga for the one in whom the right knowledge is born. Then there is no possibility of karma yoga for a jnani. Next reason, shariram kevalam karma kurvan na apnoti kilvisham. It is sharira siddhi karanatirasya karma nivarana. Other than maintaining the shariram, there is no other karma to be done by the person. Therefore, by doing that, he will not gain any kilbisham, any papam. So, karma is done just for the sustenance of the sharira. Sannyasi, that is jnani. So, therefore, the other karmas are negated because of the negation of the karma, other than the maintenance for the sharira. Therefore, karma yoga has swapne api sambhavayitum na shakyate atmavidaha. Then last reason, naiva kinchit karomi iti ito manyeta tattvavit. Iti anena sharira sthiti bhatreshu prayukteshu darshana shabhanadi karmasu I don't do anything in this, even though the person Pashyan, Shunvan, Susan, Jigran, all this activity he does, but doesn't have the Abhimana, I do. Therefore, I don't do. In this way, Samahita Chetastaya, with the mind which is resolved, the Jnani should think, Naiva Kinchit Karomiti, or the one who is Atmavidaha. The teaching is, I do, that should not be there. With regard to Darshana, Shravana, Shravana, Karmasu, Pashyan, Shunvan, Spasan, Jigran, all those things are required just for the maintenance of the Sharira. Therefore, Kartavya, Akartavyatva there is prescription of Akartavyam for such a person. Therefore, Atmavidaha, for the one who has knowledge, Samyak Darshana Viruddhaha Mithya Jnana Hetukaha Karma Yogaha, Karma Yoga which is qualified by the word Mithya Jnana Hetukaha, Samyak Darshana Viruddhaha. Therefore, Karma Yoga which is opposed to Samyak Darshanam, which is opposed to knowledge, and which is the Hetu for the Mithya Jnanam, wrong knowledge. Mithya Jnanam Hetuhu Yasya Yogasya Saha Yogaha Karma Yogaha. Karma Yoga is due to Mithya Jnanam, wrong knowledge. Therefore, Karma Yoga, Swapne api, even in dream, Sambhavayitum na shakyate, even in dream it is not possible for whom? Atmavidaha. Iti, Yasmat, because of this reason, Yasmat. Sentence is not yet over. Yasmat, because of these 8 Ashta Etavaha. 8 reason Bhashyakara gives. Therefore, for Atmavit, Karma Yoga is not possible even in dream. Therefore what? From that we have to read. Tasmat Anatmavit Kartrika Eva
अनात्म
कर्तृकयोः
कर्तृकयोः
एव
Sanyasa Karma Yogayoho
संन्यासकर्मयोगयोः
Nishreyasa Karatva Vachanam
निःश्रेयसकरत्ववचनम्
वचनम्
Tadiyacha Karma Sanyasat
तदीयाच कर्मसन्न्यासात्
Purvokta Atmavit Kartrika Sarva Karma Sanyasa Vilakshanat
पूर्वोक्त आत्मवित् कर्तृक सर्वकर्म संन्यास विलक्षणात्
लक्षणात्
Satyeva
सत्येव
Kartrutva Vijnane
कर्तृत्वविज्ञाने
Karmaika Desha Vishayat
कर्मैकविदेशविषयात्
कर्मैकविषयात्
Yama Niyamadi Sahitattvena Cha
यमनियमादिसहितत्वेन च
Duranushteyat
दुष्टेयात्
Sukarattvena Cha
सुकरत्वेन च
Karmayogasya
कर्मयोगस्य
Visishtatva Abhidhanam
विशिष्टत्वाभिधानम्
Ityevam
इत्येवम्
Prativachana Vakyartha Nirupanena Api
प्रतिवचनवाक्यनिरूपणेन
प्रतिवचनवाक्यनिरूपणेन
अपि
Purvoktaha
पूर्वोक्तः
Prashtuh Abhiprayaha
प्रष्टुः
अभिप्रायः
Nischiyate iti stitham.
निश्चीयते
निश्चीयते
इति
इति
स्थितम्
स्थितम्
This is Hetumat, and Hetu is presented up to Yasmat. For all the reasons said above, Yasmat, since Karma yoga is not possible for a jnani. Karma yoga swapne api sambhavitam shakyate atmavidah. Tasma, therefore, since it is not possible, what not possible? Karma yoga. For whom? Atmavid. It's not possible. Tasmat, therefore. Therefore, what? All these are reasons. Reasons are told to say something, to establish something. That is hetumat. Tasmat, therefore. The first shloka of this chapter. Nishaya sakaratvam, karatavachanam uktam, and karma yogasya vachishtim uktam. Vishishtata vidam. About that, Bhashakara says, Tasmat sannyasa karma yoga yogo. Anatmavit kartrika yoga sannyasa karma yoga yoga. Sannyasa and karma yoga. Between the two. Not between the two. Of these two. Not between the two. Because it's a Shashti Bhakti. Sannyasa karma yoga yoga nishchaya sakarata vachanam. That is first shloka of this chapter. Bhagavan says, Nishchayasau nishchesakarau ubau. Sannyasa karma yogascha nishchesakarau ubau. Tara ubau. These two, sannyasa and karma yoga, nishreyasa karatva vachanam. Nishreyasa means nishreyasa, moksha. Moksha, sadhanam. The status of being the sadhanam for nishreyas moksha is uttam. Sannyasa karma yoga. And one adjective is that anatmavit. That is important. Not atmavit karatrika yoga. Anatmavit. Because already we have talked about sannyasa is vividisha sannyasa, not vidvat sannyasa. Sannyasa is not atmavit kartrika sannyasa. It is anatmavit kartrika sannyasa. Therefore, anatmavit kartrika yoga. That is karma yoga and sannyasa. Which is for whom? Atmavit or anatmavit. Who is the adhikrita? Who is qualified? Anatmavit. Therefore, anatmavit kartrika yoga eva only for the anatmavit, the ajnani. Ajnani is one that is who don't know what Atma is, who is ignorant of Atma. For him, sannyasa karma yoga yoga nishreyasa karatvam vachanam uktam. Sannyasa and karma yoga, vividisha sannyasa and karma yoga are presented as the sadhanam for moksha. Tadiyacha also there are tadiyacha. Tadiyacha means anatmavit kartrakat tadiyat. Tadiyat panchami. Anatmavit kartrakat karma sannyasat. Karma sannyasa practiced by whom? Anatmavit. Purvokta atmavit kartrika sarva karma sannyasa vilakshanat. The karma yoga which is practiced by the anatmavit. Anatmavit kartrakat karma sannyasat. Purva ukta atmavit kartrika sarva karma sannyasa vilakshanat. It is distinct from the karma sannyasa of the atmavit. It is distinct from vilakshanam. Sarva karma sannyasa means jnanam. One who has given up all the karma. How? Out of jnanam. So atmavit. So this karma sannyasa of the anatmavit is different from sarva karma sannyasa of atmavit, which is different from sannyasa of all the karma of the atmavit, which is uttam purvam. Gati eva kartrutva vijnane karma ekadesha vishayat. So therefore, karma purvokta atmavit Vitrakartrika Sarvakarma Sannyasa Vilakshanat. So this karma yoga of the Anatma Vitrakartrika is different from Sarvakarma Sannyasa of Atma Vitrakartrika. And that karma yoga of the Anatmavita is Visishta. Karma is Sannyasa. Karma yoga is Visishtatva Vidhanam. Visishtatva Vidhanam means the greatness, the superiority of Karma yoga compared to Karma Sannyasa. Superiority of Karma yoga compared to Karma Sannyasa. So that is Karma Sannyasa with reference to the Karma Sannyasa, which is done by Atmavita. Karma yoga of Anatmavita is Karma yoga which is done by Anatmavita is superior. The point is here, Atmavita for him there is no prescription of Karma yoga. Karma yoga is not possible. Already said, Sambhavayitam na shakyate swapne api. Then Karma yoga for whom? It is for Anatmavita. Therefore, since Anatmavita has got choice between sannyasa and Karma yoga, Vividisha sannyasa and Karma yoga, therefore Karma yoga se vishishtatvam asti Karma sannyasat. Therefore, Karma yoga is greater compared to Karma yoga. And the Karma sannyasa, what we say, that sannyasa is different from the Atma Vittakartaka sannyasa, which is already stated, already described. So don't confuse yourself with the Karma sannyasa to be Sarva Karma sannyasa. That is what here the meaning is. When we say Karma sannyasat, Karma yoga vishishyate, that Karma sannyasa is not Atma Vittakartaka sannyasa, which is distinct from the Karma sannyasa what we compare with Karma yoga. Yet Karma sannyasa of the Anatma Vittakartaka sannyasa, Anatma Vitta, and Karma yoga of the Anatma Vitta. Between these two only there is comparison. Comparison can be done only between two things at the same level. Same. You cannot compare Atma Vittakartaka sannyasa. Therefore, Karma sannyasat Karma yoga vishishyate visishtatva vidhanam. Karma sannyasat Karma yoga sya visishtatva vidhanam. That Karma sannyasa is of the Anatma Vittakartaka sannyasa, which is distinct from Purvokta or Atma Vittakartaka sannyasa. Then, therefore, Karma yoga is better for whom? For Anatmavita compared to Vividisha sannyasa. Why it is said? Because in sannyasa there is no scope for developing jnana yogyata. In sannyasa ashrama there is not that much scope for developing jnana yogyata as it is in the karma yoga lifestyle. That is why karma sannyasat and therefore karma sannyasa Anatmavita kartrika karma sannyasat Anatmavita kartrika karma yoga vishishyate. That is the meaning. That is how we have to say. Karma sannyasat means what karma sannyasa? Who's karma sannyasa for whom? It is Anatmavita. Karma yoga for whom? Anatmavita. For that, both for that adhikari is Anatmavita. That way Bhashyakara is very cautious and he says this karma sannyasa what we talk about is distinct from the karma sannyasa of the Atmavita, that is Vidvat sannyasa. Then one more Visheshanam is there for the sannyasa, Vividisha sannyasa. What is that? Karma yoga, kartritva vijnane, karma ekadesha vishayat. Karma is sati eva, kartritva vijnane, karma ekadesha vishayat. Yama niyamadi sakitattvena cha duranushtayaat sukaratvena cha karma yogasya visishtatva vidanam. And why karma yoga is vishishyate superior to Vidisha sannyasa? Because even kartrutva, even when there is kartrutva vijnana, when there is the sense of the notion of doership is there, aham karta, aham bhokta iti, even kartrutva vijnanam is there. Karma eka desha vishayat. Karma eka desha vishayat. कर्मणः एकदेशः कर्म एकदेशः कर्म एकदेशः विषयः यस्य सः कर्म एकदेशविषयः तस्मात् कर्म एकदेशविषयात्. So कर्म एकदेशविषयात् यम नियम नियमादि सहितत्वेन यम नियम आदि सहितत्वेन च दुरनुष्ठेयात्. This karma yoga is superior to the sannyasa, vidisha sannyasa, because this sannyasa one has to follow the yama, niyama, etc. Yama, niyama, yama itself, ahimsa, satyam, asteyam, vimacharya, all these things are there, aparigraha, niyama. There are certain things to be done, things should not be done, do's and don'ts, which are duranushteyat, which is difficult to follow. The person in sannyasa ashrama, the person has to follow. Niyama. And niyama also, shocham, santosha, tapaha, swadhyaya, ishvara pranidhana. The sannyasi must follow. Therefore, it is duranushteyat, it is difficult to follow. It is difficult to follow. And sukaratvena and karma yoga is easy. Karma yoga lifestyle. Whereas duranusht, because all these things are difficult. Because it's sannyasi, astav, yama, niyama, all these things must be there. Therefore, when the person can take sannyasa. That's why we say brahmacharyat grihi bhavet, grihi bhutva vani bhavet, vani bhutva sannyasayat. That is the scheme of lifestyle, ashrama prasya shastra. So that is easy. With each ashrama, the person refines himself. The first sukaratvena, it can be followed. Whereas this karma sannyasa is difficult to follow because there one has to follow all these niyama, the rules, and the rules, the values are there. The values have to be followed. Unless a person is prepared, it is not easy. Therefore, for a person who is a mumukshu, who is growing, who has taken the journey, spiritual journey for him, instead of prescribing karma sannyasa, karma yoga is better. Karma yoga is better. Therefore, from the standpoint of the person who has embarked on this spiritual journey, karma yoga or karma sannyasa, which is better? Karma yoga is better. Because karma yoga lifestyle, one can, even one fails, he will not do. See, it's a practice. That lifestyle is meant for practicing. But sannyasa lifestyle, that cannot practice. You cannot experiment on that. One must have, and therefore one must commit oneself, because lifestyle demands such restrictions. So therefore, kartrutva vijnane karmaika desha vishayat, karmaika desha vishayat, karmaika desha vishayat, there is sannyasat. Karma is the karmanaha ekadeshaha. That is sannyasa ashrama. Karma is not that much. Only limited karma is in Vividisha sannyasa. So karmanaha ekadeshaha. So that Vividisha sannyasa, As in sannyasa ashrama also, sannyasi has karma, but I've got limited karma. So sannyasi also has got some karma, nitya karma, japa, etc. But it's very limited. Ekadesha. So therefore, the Vividesha sannyasa, which deals with only a part of karma, and with and also yama niyamadi, all these things which are difficult to be followed, and sukaratva cha karma yogasya, and therefore karma yoga is sukaratvam, it is easier, sukaratvam, as a status of being followed easily. Therefore, Visishtatva Adhidanam. Therefore, only Visishtaha iti, Bhagavan said. Why Karma Yoga is better, even though Sannyasa, Vidisha Sannyasa, and Karma Yoga both are contributors for Moksha Nishya Sakarau. Vashikara says, Bhagavan says, Karma Yoga is better. Karma Yoga is superior, not better, superior. Vishishyate. Visishtatva Adhidanam Karma Yogasya, compared to Vidisha Sannyasa. Why? Because Karma Yoga is relatively easy, Sukaratvam, because Yama and Yama, they are not that much followed strictly. In Karma Yoga lifestyle, in Grastha lifestyle, where Vidisha Sannyasa, one has to follow. One cannot aspire for any company in Vidisha Sannyasa. Whereas in Karma Yoga, one can have company, all the other avenues are there for self-development, but that is not there in Vidisha Sannyasa. Therefore, Yama Niyamadi Sakitatvena Duranashteyat for sannyasa. And no, not much karma also. Not much karma also. Therefore, kartrutva vijnane, with regard to the notion of the karta bhokta iti. The karma sannyasa, that is Vidisha sannyasa, has got karma only a little. Dealing with karma, a part of karma. Not that much karma. And also the yama niyama, all these things have to be followed very strictly, which are difficult to follow. Duranashteyat. And they are easy in Karma Yoga lifestyle. Therefore, Sukaratvena Karma Yogasya. Therefore, Visishtatva Vidhanam Karma Yogasya. Therefore, Karma Yoga is easy, relatively easy. Karma Yoga lifestyle is relatively easy. Therefore, the comparison is made between Vividesha Sannyasa and Karma Yoga. Since Vividesha Sannyasa is difficult to pursue, therefore, Karma Yoga is better. It is relatively easy. Because Yama and Yama, all these things are. Why we talk about Yama and Yama? This Yama and Yama, the values, five values are talked about, which are that values are talked about means that instincts are natural. To have all these instincts under one's vasha, one's control, and then following the rules, that is not easy. In Vyasta Ashrama, they are easy to follow. Even if one fails, one doesn't lose. But in Sannyasa Ashrama, the rules are very strict. Sannyasi is not supposed to cross over, supposed to violate the values. Therefore, Karma Yoga is better for Anatmavit Visishtattva Vidhanam iti evam. All these things, you say, we know only from the reply of the Bhagavan. Evam, in this manner, Prativachana Vakyata Nirupanena. When you analyze this reply of Bhagavan to the Arjuna's question in this chapter, Bhagavan replies, so therefore when we analyze the sentence, the Vakyam of the Bhagavan, by Prativachanam is answer. Prativachana Vakyata Nirupanena api Purvoktaha Prashtuha Viprayaha. Vipraya of the questioner, the intention of the questioner. What is the intention of the questioner? Which is better? Karma Yoga or Sannyasa? For whom? For Anatma Vidaha. That is what we have established so far. Sannyasa is Vidisha Sannyasa Yoga is karma yoga for whom? For anatmavidaha, which is better. Just to abhipraya nishchiyate, it is ascertained. Is titam. Therefore, this stands. Therefore, it's made clear. So Arjuna's question is valid. Which is better, sannyasa or karma yoga? The question is valid. There with sannyasa is anatma vidakartaka sannyasa, otherwise vividisha sannyasa, because for which the adhikari is ajnani. And karma yoga also the adhikari is ajnani. Only thing is these two are different lifestyles. One lifestyle, that is sannyasa lifestyle, is very difficult for anatma for a normal person. For the person who has embarked on this spiritual journey, it's difficult. It involves a lot of rules and regulations which one cannot violate. One's not supposed to violate. Whereas in karma yoga, it is not like that. And also it provides very ample avenues for self-growth. Therefore, visishtatva vidhanam. Yama niyamadi sagitattvena cha duranushteyat. Duranushteyat dukkena anushteyat. Anushteyat, that is qualifying sannyasa. And sukaratvena cha karma yogasya. Sukaratvena karma yogasya. Karma yoga in ashrama, sukaratvena easily, sukaratvam is status of being easily followed. Karma yogasya, in karma yoga lifestyle. Karma yogasya sukaratvena, therefore visishtatva vidam. Iti uktam, therefore it is stitam. Therefore, prashtuk abhiprayaha, the abhipraya, the intention of the questioner is ascertained. The intention of the questioner was doubted. Why the questioner, that is Arjuna, compares sannyasa and karma yoga, which cannot be compared. No, it can be compared. Here, sannyasa is anatma vitakataka sannyasa. Therefore, the question of Arjuna is valid. For anatma vitakataka sannyasa as well as karma yoga, for both the adhikari is ajnani. Therefore, the question of the Arjuna is valid. For nishchiyate ashtu abhiprayaha iti sthitam. Now starts the introduction to the first shloka. So Acharya has established the question of Arjuna is valid. That is what a discussion all these days up to here this paragraph. Now, Jayasi chet karmanaste giti
ध्यायसि चेत्
चेत्
कर्मणस्ते इति
कर्मणस्तेति
atra jnana karmano sah
अत्र
तत्र ज्ञानकर्मणोः सह
asambhave
असम्भवे
असम्भवे
yat shreyah etayoho
यत्
यतः
श्रेयः
श्रेयः एतयोः
tat bruhi
तद्
तत्
ब्रूहि
ब्रूहि
ityevam
इत्येवम्
इत्येवं
पृष्टः अर्जुनेन
पृष्टः अर्जुनेन
भगवान् सांख्यानां सन्यासिनां
भगवान्
भगवान् साङ्ख्यानां
सन्न्यासिनां
सन्न्यासिनां
ज्ञानयोगेन निष्ठा
ज्ञानयोगेन
ज्ञानयोगेन निष्ठा
पुनः कर्मयोगेन योगिनां निष्ठा
पुनः कर्मयोगेन
योगिनां
योगिनां
निष्ठा
निष्ठा
प्रोक्ता इति
प्रोक्ता
प्रोक्ता
इति
इति
निर्णयं चकार.
निर्णयं
निर्णयं
चकार
चकार
चकार means कृतवान, did. भगवान did. Why did it? What did he do? यायसी चेत् कर्मणस्ते बता जनार्दन तत्किं कर्मणि घोरे मां नियोजयसि केशव. Third chapter, first shloka. Iti atra, in this shloka, jnana karmanoho saha asambhave, impossibility of jnana karmanoho saha asambhave, together, simultaneously following jnanam and karma is not possible. Asambhave. Therefore, only yat shreyah tat me brugi. Therefore, which is better of these two? Iti evam prashtah Arjunah. Evam prashtah Arjunah. Therefore, evam iti evam prashtah. If jnanam is superior to karma yoga, jnanam jayasi chet karma naste. And in this shloka, there is jnana karmanoho saha asambhave. Impossibility of jnanam and karma. If jnanam and karma is impossible simultaneously, and jnanam is greater to karma, therefore, please tell me which is better. In this manner, the question was asked. Prishtaha, Arjunena. Then Father Bhagavan said, what did he say? Sankyanam sannyasinam, for the sannyasi, Sankyas, sannyasinam, means for the one who has done Shravanam Mananam, that is Jnana Yoga. For them, the lifestyle prescribed is Jnana Yoga lifestyle. Jnana Yoga Nishtha. Nishtha, abidance. That is lifestyle of Jnana Yoga. That is, lifestyle is better. The person can commit oneself to Nididhyasanam. And Karma Yoga Nishtha for Karma Yogis. Iti Prokta Bhagavan was told by Bhagavan. In this manner, Bhagavan did the Nirnayam, the conclusion. Bhagavan firmly said, therefore, Nirnayam Chakara. Therefore, here. So Bhagavan told Jnana Yoga for sannyasis, for Sankyas. And Karma Yoga for Karma Yogis. Jnana Yoga for sannyasis because they are ready for Nididhyasana, and therefore Jnana Yoga lifestyle for them and Karma Yoga lifestyle for Karma Yogis. So Bhagavan did the Nirnayam, did the conclusion, he concluded. Therefore, here Arjuna is not, therefore, Arjuna is not asking about Yadva Sannyasa and Karma Yoga are not possible because the answer already is given. Answer already is given before. Therefore, why did Arjuna ask here? For that Vashikara says, Nacha Sannyasana Kevalat.
न च सन्न्यासनादेव केवलात्
Siddhim Samadhigacchati iti.
सिद्धि समधिगच्छति इति
Vachanat
वचनात्
Jnana Sagitasya
ज्ञानसहितस्य
Siddhisadhanatvam Ishtam
सिद्धिसाधनत्वम् इष्टम्
Karma Yogasya cha Vidhanat.
कर्मयोगस्य च विधानात्
Jayasi chet karmanaste matha buddhir janardana. In that shloka, Arjuna is not there it is then. Here, therefore here, Arjuna is not asking about Vidyat Sannyasa and Karma Yoga are not possibility because impossibility of the Jnana Yoga and Karma Yoga already Arjuna knows. That we can know from the question he asked in the third chapter itself. Jnana Karmanoho Saha Asambhave. Arjuna knows. Prishtaha Arjunaha Jnatavan. Arjuna Prishtaha. So the Prashtuhu Arjunaha Jnatavan. Jnanam and Karma cannot go together. Impossibility of Sahasambhava means impossibility of simultaneously impossibility of simultaneousness of jnanam and karma. In the third chapter itself, Arjuna asked this question, therefore he knows, not that he don't know. Therefore, that is not, having known that, again asking is not possible. Therefore, Arjuna here in this chapter is not asking about, he knows that sannyasa and karma yoga cannot go together. That he knows. Therefore, here he is not asking about the sannyasa and karma yoga. This question is not about the possible, not about the impossibility of karma yoga. That is Vidvat sannyasa and karma yoga, because already it is talked about in the previously. And also another reason it can be given. Having known he is asking means, therefore it is sannyasa. What meant by Arjuna is different. That is the meaning. And one more reason is given. That is what we read now. So in the third chapter, the question is asked, Jayasi Chet Karmanaste. In this chapter also, question is asked. There's a difference. Third chapter, Arjuna, from that itself, Arjuna knows that Jnanam and Karma cannot go together. Even knowing is asking here means that is not possible, that cannot be. So therefore, here the possibility is Vividisha Sannyasa and Karma Yoga. Okay, the possibility is Vividisha Sannyasa and Karma Yoga. Because Arjuna knows Vidvat Sannyasa and Karma Yoga cannot be followed simultaneously. How do we know? From the question in the third chapter. Jayasi Chet Karmanaste. Jayasi Chet Karmanaste Matha Buddhir Janardana. Jayasi is Karmanaha Jayasi. Buddhihi Jayasi. Jnanam is greater than karma. Jnanam is greater than karma is because Jnanam takes a person to moksha directly. And karma, not. Therefore, why do you engage in karma? In this Gaur karma, iti Arjuna asked. Unless a person, further Bhagavan gave answer, unless a person is prepared, Jnanam is, the sannyasa lifestyle is very difficult to follow. Therefore, for the one who has done already Shravana Mananam, and for the person who is committed to Nididhyasana, for him, Jnana Yoga lifestyle is suitable, and Karma Yoga lifestyle is suitable for Karma Yogis. Iti, Bhagavan very clearly made this decision, the declaration, the third chapter itself. Having known that Arjuna has listened to that teaching, why did he ask here? He is asking here, meaning that sannyasa, what he meant is Vividisha sannyasa, not Vidvat sannyasa. And also, one more reason is given. What is given is, Tacha sannyasanaat kevala siddhim samadhi gacchati iti vachanacha. Just mere sannyasa, kevala sannyasa. Kevala sannyasa meaning jnana ragita sannyasa. Giving up, just giving up. That giving up not backed up by jnana. Jnana ragita sannyasa is kevala sannyasa. So nacha sannyasanaat kevala sannyasanaat siddhim samadhi gacchati. One cannot get success just by giving up. Mere renunciation. There is no kartrutva tyaga just by giving up things. You cannot gain success. Vachanat. It means jnana ragitasya sannyasat. That's what kevalat. Siddhihi, siddhim samadhigachati, na samadhigachati. One cannot attain success. Iti vachanat. Iti Bhagavan said there, third chapter, fourth section. The fourth shloka. Jnana sagitasya siddhi sadhanatvam ishtam. Therefore, jnana sagita sannyasa is ishtam. Jnana sagitasya siddhi sadhanatvam. For siddhi sadhanatvam means the status of being the means of moksha. Siddhi is in the end moksha, for which the means is jnana sagita. Jnana sagita sya siddhi sadhanatvam ishtam. It is desired, it is intended by the Lord. What? That is sannyasa. It should not be kevala sannyasa. It should be sannyasa must have sannyasa, jnana sagita sannyasa which is endowed with knowledge, that has its status of being the means of moksha. That is sannyasa that by knowledge is what the means for moksha. This is what intended by the Lord. Also, karma yogasya Karma Yoga Vidhanat, and Karma Yoga also is intended. Karma Yoga Vidhanat cha. The status of being the moksha and the part of Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga is the means for moksha, that also intended by the Lord. Karma Yoga also intended as a means of moksha, means not directly, indirectly. The Jnana-rahitasya Jnana-rahita sanyasat siddhim na samadhigacchati. Therefore, Jnana-sahitasya sanyasat eva siddhim samadhigacchati. And Karma Yoga also as the means for moksha. So when we say sannyasa is the means for moksha and Karma Yoga is a means for moksha, the sannyasa meaning Vividisha sannyasa. It is not Vidvat sannyasa. It cannot be Vidvat sannyasa. Vidvat sannyasa cannot be compared at all. Therefore, the comparison is not between Vidvat sannyasa and Karma Yoga, because it is impossible that Arjuna already knows, that we know from the third chapter of the Shloka, first Shloka. And here when he compares, that sannyasa cannot be Vividvat sannyasa, it should be Vividisha sannyasa. And also Bhagavan has said, just by giving up mere sannyasa, one cannot gain success, one cannot get moksha. Therefore, jnana sahita sanyasanat eva siddhim samadhigacchati, natu kevala sannyasat. Therefore, sannyasa should be backed up by knowledge. That is what intended by the Lord. So, therefore, from this it is clear that Vividisha sannyasa is what is the word sannyasa means meant by Arjuna in the shloka. So, Vividisha sannyasa has the status of means for moksha as well as the Karma Yoga. Because Vidhanat prescribed by the Lord Bhagavan has prescribed the intention, the vipraya of the Lord is the sannyasa. What type of sannyasa? Sannyasa endowed with knowledge. Jnana Sagita Sannyasasya, which is a means for moksha. And also Karma Yoga. The word Kevalat, Kevala Sannyasa. Mere sannyasa is Jnana Ragita Sannyasa. Kevalat is an adjective. Kevalat Sannyasat. Because sannyasa meaning giving up, one can give up out of jnanam. That happens naturally. Things falls. That the attachment just drop. The person may possess, but sense of possessiveness is not there. And Kevala sannyasa is sense of possession is that just giving up the possessions. That is Jnana Sagitam or Jnana Ragitam. It is Jnana Ragitam. So Jnana Ragita sannyasat siddhi moksha na samadhigacchati. Moksha is not attained. Therefore, by what moksha is attained? Jnana Sagita sannyasat eva. Jnana Ragita sannyasat na moksha. So for moksha only Jnana Sagita sannyasa, not Jnana Ragita sannyasa. And that Jnanam is gained by taking to sannyasa ashrama, by following the Vividisha sannyasa, or by Karma Yoga, which is also Vidhanat prescribed by the Lord. So Karma Yoga lifestyle as well as Vividisha lifestyle, the sannyasa, both enjoy the status of being the means for moksha. Both the adhikaris are ajnani, and therefore the Vidva sannyasa and Karma Yoga, Vividisha sannyasa and Karma Yoga, between them there is a choice. Not between Vidvat sannyasa and Karma Yoga. That Arjuna need not ask here, because Arjuna already knows that. Therefore, that is not asked by Arjuna here. Arjuna, what is asking is Vividisha Sannyasa and Karma Yoga. Because Karma Yoga is Vidhanat, it's prescribed. Therefore, this question is asked. Why not Sannyasa is better than Karma Yoga? So this Vividisha Sannyasa is Jnana Ragita Sannyasa. Vidvat Sannyasa is Jnana Sagita Sannyasa. Jnana Ragita Sannyasa means no Jnanam, therefore Ajnanam. Karma Yogi also Ajnanam. Therefore Ajnani is the Adhikari. So therefore, comparison is made between two things of similar two things which are at the same level. How can the comparison be made between Jnana, Gita Sannyasa and Karma Yoga? Not possible. That is not intended by the Arjuna. Jnana Ragita Sannyasa, that is Vividisha Sannyasa, and Karma Yoga, of course, Jnana Ragitam, Jnana Karma Yoga, between them, which is better. That is what is intended by, that is what asked by Arjuna. And Bhagavan also has said very clearly before, Jnanaragitasya kevalat, Jnanaragitat kevalat sannyasat siddhim na samadhigacchati. Arjuna has been listening, therefore he must have heard this also. Therefore, that is very clear. Therefore, next line, that is important. Jnanaragitasya sannyasah
ज्ञानरहितस्य सन्न्यासः
Shreyan.
श्रेया
Shreyan.
Kim va karma yoga Shreyan.
किं वा कर्मयोगः
Karma-yoga Shreyan.
Iti eta yogo vishesha babutsaya.
इति
Iti
एतयोः
etayoho vishesha butsaya.
So Arjuna wanted to know Visheshena very specifically between the two. What are those two? Jnana Ragitasya Sanyasaha. That's the point. Not Jnana Sagita Sanyasa. Jnana Ragitasya Sanyasaha is better or Karma Yoga better. Because in both there is no Jnana. Ajnani is the candidate, it's Adhikari. Therefore, Jnana Ragita Sanyasaha is Vividisha Sanyasa, otherwise called Atma Kartrikatva Sanyasa. Different names for the same thing. So which is Shreyan, which is better? Jnanaragitaha Sanyasaha Atava Karma Yogaha iti Visheshana Babutsaya. This is what intended. Jayasi Chet Karmanasya Mata Buddhir Janardana. There Jnana Sagita Sanyasa. Their comparison is not made. Their Jayasi Chet Karmanaste comparison is not made, means not made between Vidvat Sannyasa and Karma Yoga. Because Vidvat Sannyasa is Jnana Sagita Sannyasa. Comparison cannot be made. Here comparison is made means the Adhikari is Ajnani, therefore Vividisha Sannyasa. Therefore Jnana Ragitasya Sannyasa is better or Karma Yoga is better. See, Vishesha Babutsaya. Vishesha Babutsaya, Jnatum Icha Babutsa. So which is better? Anatma Vidakartaka Sannyasa, that is Vividisha Sannyasa is better. Or Karma Yoga is better. Iti Vishesh Shena, both Ichaya, with the desire to know, Arjuna asked. What did he ask? Arjuna Uvacha.
Juna Uvacha.
उवाच
Sannyasam Karmanam Krishna Punaryogam cha Shamsasi.
Sannyasam karmanam Krishna punaryogam cha sanshasi.
Yajreyayetayorekam tanme brugi sunischitam.
Yachreya etayorekam tanme bruhi sunishchitam.
We'll see the commentary to this in next class. Om Purnamadav Purnamidham Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om Dhanyavadaha.
Dhanyavad Guruji.
धन्यवाद।